What is UReturn?
UReturn is the Employee Services Division of Disability Resource Center. We work with all employees at the university system-wide that have a medical condition or disability that affects them on the job in some way. Our goals are work retention and return to work, productivity retention and return to productivity. We have really three major cornerstones of our office. We are confidential, we are neutral, we seek to intervene in a timely way. We're under the umbrella of Disability Resource Center. We still report through Disability Resource Center. And UReturn is not just about returning to work, it's returning to your identity in your job. So when your identity is compromised because of a medical condition, what we seek to do, everything that we do in our counseling and our process, is to return that person to that identity as soon as possible. But we have system-wide responsibility. So we work with all employees, all campuses, as well as extension.
What kinds of situations should supervisors get in touch with you about?
A supervisor themselves might be dealing with a medical condition that's affecting them on the job. They might be supervising somebody that has self-disclosed. From a supervisory standpoint, one of the most frequently asked questions is, my employee just told me that they were diagnosed with, you name it. And I don't know what I can do, what I should say, how I should handle that. And that's a call that we get very frequently and we welcome. The second, probably most common question is, I have an employee who is exhibiting behaviors that are inconsistent with what I know of this employee, and how do I handle that? I'm concerned that something is happening in their medical or personal life, and I don't really know how to handle it. We have a budget to provide accommodations. So if there is an expense, let's say for a larger screen for somebody using their vision, we will pay for that. If there's an expense that is needed for the loss of hearing, we sit within a very large office that has quite a bit of service that we tap into often. We have a sign language interpreting office, we have a captioning office, we have a document conversion office, and we also have a computer accommodations program, which is now called Digital Accessibility Center. So we can tap into those resources pretty readily when we have a situation that warrants it.
What do you wish supervisors knew about UReturn?
It's very important for both employers and employees to know that we are confidential. Our medical documentation comes into our office, and we do not speak in terms of diagnostic or treatment information. We have a policy of operating as though we are covered under HIPAA. Our neutrality is very important. That means that we are here as much for the employee that is having medical difficulty as we are for the employer who is seeking to maintain that person's employment. So we get a question often from HR and from management whether they can require an employee to come to our office. And the answer is no, we are voluntary. Because we are voluntary, the employer's obligation to provide accommodation on the job doesn't exist unless they come to our office. Now, that isn't to say that accommodations don't happen around the university with conversation between an employer and employee. But the process is that employee needs to come to our office, document the medical need, and then we implement accommodation. We rely heavily on supervisors and management in general, as well as human resources, to help us determine what accommodation or set of accommodations would be reasonable within a particular job. But I do think supervisors need to know that we don't make that decision, what's reasonable. We cannot know every job at the university. So we rely heavily on job descriptions, job analyses, and that employer's understanding of what the outcomes of that position need to be. And then we try to figure out with them and the employee how to attain those outcomes in a different way. One of the biggest delays in what we do is getting into a situation and the job description is not apropos to what is actually occurring now. right? So the job description is 10 years old and it's never been updated. And that person's job has evolved. And it includes a lot of other things that are not listed on the job description.
To learn more about the Disability Resource Center, visit disability.umn.edu. Specific information about UReturn can be found by navigating from the menu to Employee Services. The Resources for Supervisors page includes a job accommodation process guide. To contact UReturn, you can call 612-624-3316 or email ureturn@umn.edu.